you have to show people what you are doing.
Exactly.
Talk to people. So today I see you and I talk to you about what I am doing.
Right.
Tomorrow when you go out and you see an opportunity, you remember me and you will call me.
Hello guys, welcome to another exciting episode of How It Started. On today's episode, we are going to interview somebody who I believe is making great waves in, contributing her quota to how we treat plastics in our society. We are going to talk to Comfort Appiah, lead at EcoFashion GH. We are going to talk more about what she does and how she actively, transfers skills to people who are interested in recycling plastics in our society. Hello, Comfort.
Hi, Kwame.
Welcome to my show. I've met you, this is the first time meeting you, and I'm really excited about what you do.
Thank you.
How you are actively contributing to, helping with the recycling problem in our society today. One thing I'd say that caught my eye about you and EcoFashion GH was the fact that I realized you were training people. You were finding people who were, practically not doing anything or in your locality, and just bringing them in and teaching them, how they could put together plastic, for aesthetic value.
Yeah.
Before we go in, tell us a little about yourself.
Okay. So my name is Comfort Appiah, and I am a recent graduate of Ashesi University. I graduated in 2019, and I am an entrepreneur. So I run EcoFashion, and we provide recycling solutions to plastic waste. We make currently we make art, craft, and fashion accessories from plastic waste. But we are looking forward to including more products.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I checked your page, quickly, and it says an eco-friendly fashion house that is combating plastic waste pollution by making crafts and accessories from plastic waste. Interesting. Fantastic at the same time.
Thank you.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about where this idea came from.
Okay, so this plastic waste pollution that we have in Ghana here. Every single year in Ghana during the rainy season, we have floods that claim lives and property.
Right.
People dumping plastic waste in gutters and stuff like that. So in 2013, I had an experience in my family where my uncle and his wife's house got flooded because they had a gutter in their area filled with heaps of plastic waste, and so during the rainy season the gutter overflowed and flooded their house, and then they lost everything that they had in that house. And so when I went to Ashesi and I started learning about design thinking, how to provide solutions to problems, I just decided that maybe I can do something about this problem that is happening in Ghana, and my family has had an experience with it. So that's how I started EcoFashion. Yeah.
Okay. Let's dig in a little bit further. So run us through how you got to the point where you decided I'm going to start EcoFashion, right? What happened next?
Okay, so when I started EcoFashion, I was in school, second year in school, and there was a lot of entrepreneurship opportunities in school. So I just applied to those opportunities, and they helped me build a business model, and then I took it from there. I had people from Ashesi, the staff of Ashesi, they were my first customers, and they bought my products, and then I got encouragement from there, and then I built the business model, and today we are here.
Really, really, really interesting. Let's backtrack just a little bit. So, I mean, you came up with the name EcoFashion, etc. So how did you start? So did you start with plastic waste within your, campus? Run us through all of that. What did you make, with the if you like the first bucket of plastics that you got, and what happened?
Okay.
Tell us that story.
So in Ashesi, the plastic waste is already being segregated. So unlike in homes or other organizations where they put all the waste together. In Ashesi, they separate the plastic waste already. So when I decided to recycle plastic or upcycle plastics, I just took the plastic that were being segregated, and then I started making craft. I'm very crafty with my hands, so I started making craft. I started making stuff that you can put things inside, like this one. Stuff that you can put brush, your stuff holders. So I started making those ones. I also went online to research stuff that I can do with the plastics, and so that was how I started making things. And then I started showing it to people, especially people at Ashesi, and I got my first few customers to be buying the stuff from.
Interesting. So if I'm getting you correct, it means in terms of coming up with the ideas for the things you would make from plastic, it just came to you naturally.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm very crafty like that. So you just give me some. I know how to sew. Nobody taught me how to sew. I just decided to go and buy a sewing machine and start sewing, and I just so I'm very crafty. Anytime I want to do something with my hands, I just take it and I'm doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's really, really interesting. Okay, so tell us some of the challenges you had, from the idea phase to bringing it to life.
Okay.
Yeah, because I can imagine it wasn't. I'm not sure it was a walk in the park. You just wanted to do that.
So from the beginning, it was like when I started in school, my second year in school, it just started like something that I've started to do. I love it, and I'm doing something crafty. But the real challenges started when I got out of school. With my parents, challenges with my parents.
Okay.
My parents don't want me to do this because they feel like you've been to uni and you need to go and get a job.
Right.
So that was one of my main challenges. My mom not agreeing for me to work on this project after my college education.
Right. Okay.
That was my main challenge. And then my second challenge was getting a team to work on the project.
Right.
Yeah, because I have a personal experience with plastic waste pollution, and like I was so eager to work on the project, and people were not willing to bring in the same passion and effort to work on the project. So getting a team was very difficult. And then also I think that if I had money to pay people to come and work for me on the project, they would have done it.
Right.
But because I didn't have money to pay people to come and do it, and I was depending on, come and work and let's build something and we'll enjoy it later. Right. Like people weren't willing to. Yeah, so financially and then with my family and all of that, those are the main challenges that I've faced so far.
If you don't mind touching quickly on, so how did you manage that family situation? Because it can be very, very huge.
Yeah.
Moving forward with an idea.
Yes.
How did you navigate that?
So with this one, so even when I was in school, because I started in school, and I made up my mind that I was going to do this after school. And then I told my mom about it, and she was like, no, you can't finish uni and come and do this. So right in school, I was looking for opportunities that I could work on the project and get something substantial to show her that this is actually going to work.
Right.
And so I applied for a lot of entrepreneurship opportunities in school, opportunities that will help me build a business model, opportunities that help me to sell my products and actually make money. I made use of all those opportunities so that I can get something to show my mom that this is what I'm doing and it's actually going to work. So that was it. And then number two, when I finished school, I knew that really my mom doesn't want me to do this, so I actually left home. I had to rent a place and then leave my mom so that I wouldn't have any issues with her. So that was one thing that I did that not everybody will be able to do it, but I decided to do it because I knew that this is what I want to do and I don't want any headache. I just want to concentrate on my project and do so. Yeah.
That's your story is indeed something. Where did you get that level of conviction to say, this is what I want to do. I know my mother or my parents are not giving me that support I need, and I know when I come out of school, it's going to be difficult, and so I'm taking the decision to go and rent a place to make my dream come true. Where did that level of conviction come from?
I don't know, but when I was in school, I was always saying that I don't want to work in a company. It has always been in my mind that I don't want to work in a company. So I think in my 3rd year, I did an internship in one government organization, and I never liked it.
Right.
I was always sick when I went to that company. I was always sick. And so I was like, no, I'm never ever going to do this again. No matter what anybody is going to tell me, I'm never going to work in a company again. I'm going to work on my own thing. So that was the motivation.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And Ashesi was also very supportive because they had a lot of opportunities for people that want to go into entrepreneurship. Right. So there was Ashesi Venture Incubator, which actually gave me the opportunity to work on my own project for my national service. Okay. So right after college education, I didn't need to go and do my national service in another company. Right. I had the opportunity to work in my own company for my national service. And I was being paid by Ashesi for running my own business for my national service. Okay. So that was really, really beneficial.
Interesting. Yeah. Interesting. Big shouts to Ashesi for creating that, enabling environment for you. Let's move away. Your story is a moving one, to be honest.
Thank you.
Let's move into an aspect that interests quite me and a lot more people. It's the decision to pass on that knowledge to people. Tell us where it started from. When you started throughout, picking the plastics, doing it yourself. You mentioned to me earlier that you started with some people in school. After school, they left, etc. Yeah. What position did you get to? That point where you decided, no, let me impart this knowledge to other people.
Okay, so it started when I finished school, and those people that I got to help me in school to run the project in school left. So it was left with me alone. Right. And recycling plastic, upcycling plastic, when you're not transforming the plastic, like when you're not melting and molding, it's called upcycling. So like cutting and using it for something else, it's called upcycling. So it's very difficult to handle the plastic when you are not recycling. Right. So it takes like 3 days to make one product. Yeah, so it was difficult to get a lot of products to sell. So, and because I don't have money to pay people to come and do the product for me, I just decided that, okay, I've seen people in my neighborhood who are not doing anything, they don't have work to do. So let me bring them on board, train them in what I am doing so that they will make the product. I take it from them and sell, and then they also get their own share. Right. In that case, I'm not paying anybody to work for me. Okay. Yeah, so that was how it started.
And so how long have you started, imparting knowledge to other people?
That was in 2019. So since 2019.
Okay, so right out of school.
Yeah, right out of school.
Okay. Interesting. Really, really interesting. So I see you've entered. So there's arts. There's the making of things like bags, pot holders, etc. Do you teach these people all of these things?
Yeah, I teach mostly the bags.
The bags,
yeah,
okay.
Mostly the bags. Okay. The art I do it myself because not everybody is interested in art, and for art you need to be creative and think about it and be inspired. Yeah, so I teach mostly the bags. Okay. Yeah, because the bags involves cutting, shaping, crocheting, sewing. So for those ones, that's what I'm able to teach people.
You come off as a very creative person, somebody who uses her hands a lot.
Yes.
And what's interesting to me is the fact that you didn't seem to get any sort of training from anywhere. It more or less came to you. And
yeah, it came to me. Sometimes too, I go online to research and get ideas. Yeah.
Interesting. What gap would you say you are filling in the market?
I think one gap that I would say I'm filling, which I think is important, is people who haven't been to school. Usually they think that if you haven't been to school, you are useless, you can't do anything. So I think that the way I have taken is an opportunity to actually train these people and let them have something that they are doing. And I am somebody who doesn't believe in going to school before you can become successful. And so when I get somebody I am training with this skill, I make them understand that you don't need school to become successful. There are a lot of successful people in this world. Some people have not even been to school, but they have companies that people who have been to school are working for them. So you don't need school to be successful. So if you are learning this skill and you're serious about it, you can really go far.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So with regards to your product, I know you mentioned earlier that your first customers were the people in Ashesi.
Yeah.
Some people in Ashesi. Shout out to the people in Ashesi again. So when you came out of school, how were you advertising?
So advertising has really been word of mouth. So because it started, like my first customers were from Ashesi, they also connected me to other people. And then anytime I meet somebody, I tell them what I'm doing. Sometimes they buy, other times they don't buy, but I'll be there and they'll call me that, oh, there's this person who needs what you are doing. So it has really been word of mouth, people connecting me to other people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Do you leverage on any social media platforms?
Yeah, I'm on social media. I'm on Instagram. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook. But I've not been really active on these social media platforms. Yeah.
Okay. It's why?
I'm not really a social media person, so I think that's the reason.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not a social media person.
Okay, because I think that social media, when used well, can bring a lot of benefits to a brand.
Yeah.
And for a brand such as yours that is, actively, contributing its quota to how we use plastics, I think it's something that can really, really push a brand out there. Yeah,
I really want to go into it. Even if I can't do it, I want to get somebody who can help me with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. So quickly, where do you see, EcoFashion in 5 years?
Okay. So one of the things that my company we want to do. So recently, this year, we invested in plastic recycling machines, and so now we are not going to be cutting and shaping and all that. We are going to melt and then mold the plastics into the products that we want. And so I need a lot of plastics. I'm now going to, the capacity is going to increase.
Right.
So I need a lot of plastics. So the idea is to get some organizations like Ashesi who is segregating their plastics. I want to get more organizations that will segregate their plastics for me to use for my project. So I think in the next 5 years, I want to have plastic waste segregation bins, not only in organizations, but maybe on the streets of Accra to be collecting the plastic so that they don't have to end up in the gutters to be causing problems for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Quickly. So, in terms of sourcing your plastics before, I'm guessing in Ashesi you mentioned that they were already categorized, and so it was easy to pick. When you came out of school, how were you going about it?
So I was still getting plastics from Ashesi University.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
And then also there's one organization in East Legon. It's called SEEPS.
Okay.
Yeah, I also get some. They also do segregation, so I get some plastics from there. And then people in my community also know what I am doing, so they drop plastic bottles there and they get some little rewards. Yeah, and now I'm speaking with other organizations to also segregate their plastics for me.
I mean, quickly as well, you touched on the fact that you're getting a machine that is going to help with the melting of the plastics,
Yeah.
etc. How are you funding that? Because I know EcoHouse is starting out. You are making a lot of progress here, over the years. But how are you funding that?
Okay, so like I mentioned earlier, I used a lot of opportunities from Manchester University. So I entered, there's one program in Manchester called D Lab. That was where I started building my business model.
Okay.
From there, I was going through there was Manchester Venture Accelerator before I entered Manchester Venture Incubator.
Interesting.
Yeah, so with all those ones, when you're in it, people are seeing what you are doing.
Right.
And so if there's any other opportunity somewhere, they connect you. So I've gotten connections to other organizations. There's another program in Ashesi called Scholars Entrepreneurship Fund. So with that one too, I got funding from there. So all these funding opportunities are what I've saved, and then I've now invested in the plastic recycling machine.
That's really, really great. I mean, you keep going back to Ashesi, and it's making me realize how important an enabling environment is to nurturing, dreams that are going to positively impact our society. It's one to take note of.
I've gotten funding from other people outside Ashesi too.
Okay.
Yeah, I've gotten funding from other opportunities outside Ashesi. And what I would say is, it's connections. Like, you have to show people what you are doing. Talk to people. So today I see you and I talk to you about what I am doing.
Right.
Tomorrow when you go out and you see an opportunity, you remember me and you call me. So that's what it is. You just have to talk to people about what you are doing. Not only in Ashesi, I've got other opportunities outside Ashesi. So it's about talking about what you are doing, letting people know. You don't have to just sit down.
Right.
You have to talk. Yeah.
I mean, basically, your networking has to be on point.
Yes.
Right. So when you make these, really pretty products, where do you showcase them?
Okay.
Yeah.
So aside that, people call me and order for products or connect me to people who buy, I also go for trade shows to sell my products. So trade shows have been one of my main sources of revenue.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's really, really awesome. It's a shame, we have to round this up soon, but quickly, what advice would you give to anybody that is looking to, enter this space? Somebody who wants to be like Comfort, in some few years to come. What advice would you give them?
Okay, so the first advice that I want to tell everybody is that plastic waste pollution is a problem.
Right.
And I'm telling everybody that you don't need to take plastic for every single thing you buy. Take your reusable bags.
Right.
And stop littering. When you drink water, don't throw it on the ground. That's what I'm advocating for. We need to keep our country clean. And then about entrepreneurship, I'll encourage everybody to go into entrepreneurship.
Right.
You don't need to go to school before you become a business person or a successful business person. So school is not what makes you successful. Education is what makes you successful. And you can get education when you haven't been to school.
Okay.
And entrepreneurship is very good because we have a lot of problems in Ghana, Africa, wherever. And these problems present opportunities that we can take and make money from.
Right.
When you provide solution to whatever problem, you have unemployment, poverty, waste pollution, a whole lot of problems.
Right.
And all you need to do is to come up with an idea, speak to people about what you are doing, and start something. Start small and show people what you are doing, and you get people to help you. When I started upcycling plastics, recently a friend of mine told me that, Comfort, when you were saying that you want to finish school and work on this project, I was always laughing in my head, because a product that you use 3 days to make one product and nobody's willing to buy it over 100 CDs, how are you going to survive? And he was saying this because he realized that now I've invested in plastic recycling machines. And I was like, upcycling plastic isn't what I wanted to do. Cutting and shaping plastic isn't what I wanted to do. I wanted to do melting and molding of plastic, recycling of plastic. But before I get there, I don't have the money to invest in it right now. So I have to do something to show people what I am doing so that they can support me to get to where I am going. So you need to start small. Start with what you have. Start wherever you are, something small. Show it to people. Keep going. And then you get to where you want to be.
Fantastic. I mean, just simply, it's great. I really like the words that are coming out of your mouth. So for anybody who is interested in, you know, partnering with you, or just, you know, pretty much wanting to learn how to you know, recycle plastics, what do? Do they contact you directly? What happens?
Okay, so they can contact me. They can WhatsApp me. My number is 026-780-9941. So they can WhatsApp me, and then we'll take it from there. If you want to learn how to make the craft or whatever, I'm ready to teach.
Awesome. And when do these classes take place?
I have a workshop at Adenta, so that's where it takes place.
Okay, so I want to have like an idea of maybe a duration. So is it a day? Is it 2 days? Can you give us an idea of what
it takes a month to learn how to.
Okay.
Yeah, it takes a month to learn.
Okay. This has been really, you know, insightful, inspirational. I have picked up so many gems from this little discussion we've had today, and I'm sure a lot of people who are watching have also picked up a lot of, you know, inspirational stuff. And so Comfort from Eco House is telling us to manage our plastic use. Do not litter. Try as much as possible to reduce, you know, your use of plastics. And in a situation where there are a lot of plastics that, you know, you probably do not have anything to do with, she's asking you to come for training, come for some sort of training from EcoFashion GH, and she's going to train you and teach you, you know, how to change plastic, which is, you know, considered waste, into something with, you know, some aesthetic value. Comfort, it was the utmost pleasure meeting you today.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming through. Thank you for sharing your story with us. I think your story is one that everybody should hear. I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Going forward. And to our audience, all too soon we've come to the end. Until the next episode, and I'll show you, it's going to be a really, really exciting one. Stay safe and be good.